like 4 years younger than Susan and her cronies. And I used to see Susan and you guys running up and down the street and think, oh, there's teenagers running back and forth to the Holden's house and things like that. And you know, what's going on over there? And then several years later, my family moved to Grand Avenue, and then Susan became friends with Ann Fitzpatrick. So I had become friends with Ann Fitzpatrick, and then we became friends yet again. Susan was like my big sister, and there was a period of time early on when I got married, and Ron and I did things with Mike and Susie, and we were little couples together. And then we kind of went in separate ways, and then like kind of 10 years later, we kind of met up somewhere, and I'm not exactly sure how we reunited, but I had become a massage therapist, and Susan had learned how to cut hair. So we spent this day together where she cut my hair and I did reflexology on her feet. And we reunited ever since. Some more years and years went by, and then I ended up moving in with Susan McLean and learning the clothing business. And not only did I learn the clothing business, but I learned the grooming business and all kinds of other things that were really marvelous and wonderful, and spiritual programs. And there's just a real depth of understanding of life and funny things that Susan taught me. And it's very hard to get up and say everything that I want to say, but I just, love her dearly. I even ended up moving to Santa Rosa and starting a clothing store, and it was from that launching pad of learning my clothing store that I ended up launching another career in commercial real estate. But I can tell you that I could have never, ever had the success I've had in life without the influence of Susan and Susan McLean as partners. They were just wonderful, wonderful people, supportive of me. I mean, everybody talked about how wonderful Susan is. Well, Susan was actually pretty funny and sarcastic too, and I have a lot of things of where she would make fun of me quite a bit, and I learned to laugh and enjoy being a helmet head, and what else? Oh, walk this way. She one time told me her middle name was Behuba, which I believed for many, many years. She probably told me it wasn't. So she had quite a mischievous streak, to say the needlessly. She knew how troubled my family was when I was growing up. There was a lot of chaos in my family at one point when we lived on Marconi Street. And Susan, many years later, Susan really helped me through with the 12-step programs and adult children of alcoholics and all this kinds of spiritual ways of building up yourself, because my self-esteem had been so beat up. And then I became pretty successful in commercial real estate, and Susan, whenever I went to visit her, she'd be like, oh, I always knew you could do it. I always knew you could do it. You and McLean, we always knew how successful you were going to be. And I really have to say, yes, I worked hard, and yes, I had enthusiasm, and yes, I'm a hard worker, and this and that, but you have to have confidence in yourself to get out and get beat up and try. And I had a lot of confidence built into me and given to me through Susan McLean, and through the years. And I am so grateful, and I am so stunned that Susan died. But I hold her dear, dear, dear in my heart. I talk to her all the time. And I'm so grateful that she has been such a big part of my life.